All right, it's the Monday. Because they're leaving in. I was like, why is it two different colors? The MON is red, the DA
burgundy
is blue. It's like, what is going on there? It's Monday. It is July 18th. It is the rundown. It is brought to you by Lisa Mattresses. $100 off. You get to keep the coupon. Doesn't matter whether you buy this mattress today, tomorrow. They've upped it. I was sleeping on Lisa Mattresses just this weekend in my house. They've provided them all, and I actually have 2 more mattresses coming. I only use Lisa Mattresses. Click on the link. You get to save it. Kevin is at home. He has started paternity leave, pre-paternity leave, pre-baby.
I think it's happening today.
Yeah, he's on paternity leave.
Right.
I'm not going to get into it because he's already mad that I brought it up, apparently.
I mean, I think he probably wants to see the birth of his child, which is happening like right now.
That's
Totally.
important.
I think that's a totally fair point.
Yeah.
Welcome, Elika.
Thank you.
Doing the rounds. She was on Barstool Radio. Now the rundown. So let's get right into the stuff here. And I didn't even put the latest. We're all riled up. I don't know if you're riled up, Elika, but I'm riled up because, and this isn't on the subject thing, but we're getting criticized right now because we work too hard. Shout out to the internet. They're literally, like, you can't make that up. That's literally what they're complaining about.
It just shows that whatever we do at this point, someone's going to hate us.
That we are getting. The guy who tweeted that, the original guy, is a Barstool fan.
Right.
I know that.
No, but the
Jason,
the
right.
replies
Yes.
and like people getting retweeted like this is a toxic culture and wow, wouldn't want to work there. Well, hey, buddy, we don't want you to work
Should
here.
we explain what this is about, though?
Yes. So Erica, you're very good at that.
Yeah.
So Erica,
We just usually just talk
Yeah.
for hours at time without giving any
Nobody knows
backstory
what the hell you're
whatsoever.
talking
Elika
about.
actually,
That's okay.
she said that when she came in. She's like, I'm glad to do radio on the rundown, but I don't know what you guys talk about most of the time.
You know what? Credit to all the stoolies out there because I feel like stoolies have like a sixth sense where they read our minds now. We're like, oh yeah, I know exactly what they're talking
So
about.
Erica had an article in the New York Times. They asked her a bunch of questions, and one of them, it was essentially, she said in the interview process, she will text people and see if they respond within 3 hours. I actually think that's like an awesome test because I get nuts. If I text Frankie and he doesn't like get back to me in 20 seconds, I start getting mad. So I actually think this is a very fair test, and it's like, how accessible are they? We are in a 24/7 world. Sports, TV, culture, it doesn't stop with the internet. And Dan, you and I have been doing this forever. It's like an around-the-clock gig.
And it's one of those things where I have the best job in the world. I wouldn't trade it for any other job. There are some times when you're like, hey, I wish I didn't have to like know what's going on, but that's the one trade-off. It's really like, it's not hard to figure out, you know, that you'd rather take working at Barstool and being successful at Barstool and maybe missing a couple, you know, personal things on Saturday and Sunday.
So she tweeted that, and Jason Hirschhorn, I think his name is, who I think is a Barstool fan because I know he's friends with Churn and whatnot, quoted that tweet. And just now people are going bananas they're mad online, as Coley likes to say, that we work our employees, I guess, too hard. It's a toxic culture, and it's just like wild.
She also said that it's during the interview process. So if you get hit up like on a Sunday by someone you're interviewing with and you don't like that, like you're still figuring out fit with one another. If that's not for you, then it's not for you. But isn't that when you're putting your best foot forward?
Absolutely.
And to me, we are in a company that, I don't want to say almost every single dude, 18 to 25, like 18 to 30 wants to work for it, but a lot of people want to work here.
It's a competitive, I mean, the media is a competitive field. Like these people, I was saying off camera, like these are the same people that then complain, like, oh man, they're laying off these writers, and wow, they can't give these people talent. It's like, guess what? It's a fucking hard field. Everything is very cutthroat.
Well, it's not even just media though. Like my other, like I work in marketing, like having nothing to do with media. Like I would get work emails and texts like all the time.
Also, this is like the most American thing ever. We're not the fucking Europe. We're not taking all of August off. We don't take siestas. That actually pisses me off.
I do like the idea of siestas though.
Yeah, of course. I would love to, roll out of bed and drink a little Spanish wine.
You know who did take all of August off?
Who?
Cauldron guy.
Oh yeah.
And then guess
that's
what
right.
happened with Coulter?
That's a
Out of
perfect
business.
example. Hey, we want to pat ourselves on the back for a great July. We're taking the entire month of August off.
Paternity leave, as
We
I
do
learned
offer
today.
although I think that's like a federal law that we can't take away.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
But the same people are complaining. I love it. It's like they don't see. It's like, I'm so mad Barstool's successful and they make too much money. I'm so mad that Barstool works too hard. they don't put those together. Like maybe the work hard has to do with being successful. Whatever. Fuck
Also,
these
our
people.
job's fun. That's the other thing. It's like, so we get texts every night. Like, our job's pretty fucking fun.
Back to the Elika thing. On the interview, I even think it's more on the interview process because, like, how bad do you want to work here?
Right.
Like, there's a million people who want to work here. If you can't respond to a text, then that's probably like, okay, we're going to go to the next guy who wants it really bad.
Right.
Because they'll probably be a better employee. So whoever's getting mad, I didn't know. Did you know the sports ratings TV guy didn't like us?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I didn't know he did. I always
there's a
find
list
new people.
now.
Like,
it's
can't
like
keep up.
washed over me at this point because I used to care about like all these people, but they're never going to change their mind. And it's like when I threw out the first pitch of the Cubs game.
Yeah,
It was like
people got
people
mad
were
about
just
that, too.
flipping out and just like, man, the Cubs are the worst organization in the
Yeah,
world.
a lot of
This
people got mad
blogger
about that.
was the second of 3 first pitches, and he was out there for like 10 seconds.
yeah, people get real internet mad about that. And I always feel like with you, Elika, it's kind of interesting to see because from outside, and maybe not, it's like, why are we always in Twitter fights? It's because we're like minding our own business and now we're getting crucified for working too hard. It's like, fuck you. Like sports network TV ratings guy. And this is who we're getting our ratings from on Comedy Central. I don't trust this asshole.
Yeah.
Like this guy's going to give unbiased.
got a
This
motive.
guy fucking hates us.
It's got a motive. It's fine. Like, I'm fired.
I can
I'm
hear.
trying to
Fired up
figure out
too.
if there
I'm
was a
fucking
question I
fired
was
up
supposed to
too.
address.
I can hear Gaz in the corner congratulating PFT. Just totally side note. I don't know if you
Oh,
saw
yeah,
it.
yeah. I saw.
Me and PFT are the second and third most influential Soul Cycle influencers of the year.
Yeah.
Tweeting. And
That's amazing.
Scott Zolak.
Who's
Soul
won?
Cycle?
Yeah.
Who's
yeah.
won?
I don't know. That had to be like a misprint. How could anybody have been tweeting about that more than I am?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It must be the Soul Cycle account.
No.
Like
Soul
it's number
Cycle's
1.
4.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, that's amazing.
But me and PFT.
That's
was 2 and
fucking
3.
amazing. Wow, congrats, fellas.
Thank you. Thank you.
What an
Well, job
accomplishment.
well done. You don't know what we're talking about at all, which is fine. It's better off that way.
Yeah.
And real quick, dated a girl, Soul Cycle. She cheated on me as Soul Cycle instructor. I went bananas. There's the,
Dave talked about Soul
And
Cycle
that's
for like
so
3
you're not
months.
influential in the positive sense.
That's it. That's
No.
I was very negative.
Clearly, you don't hold
It was
grudges.
cu-
No,
it was-
I'm
it was
a
a
grudge guy. I'm
cuck-based,
over it.
yeah.
But it was a very, very negative
He wasn't
campaign.
talking about like how he loved his 45-minute Soul Cycle class.
No,
over
I was
and
not.
over.
No, I was not. Into the subjects. And Coulter versus Delta.
Speaking of grudges,
Yes, and Coulter has a fucking huge grudge versus Delta because they gave away her seat, which was an extra legroom seat on Delta. I'm not even sure. That's why I was confused when we talked about this on the radio. Whenever I hear extra legroom, I think JetBlue. But it was Delta. She said it was $30. She took a picture of these people sitting in the seat and basically went bananas for about 20 to 30 tweets, killing Delta. Delta eventually wrote back, be like, yo, chill out, essentially. Like, we don't appreciate the way you're treating our employees. We'll give you a $30 rebate. Dan, what do you got on this?
The craziest part of this entire story is Ann Coulter pretending that picking out an extra leg spot is like this detailed process that took hours and hours. Did you see that? She's like, I investigated the airplane. I picked my exact seat. It takes 2 seconds.
the 1B to that 1A is that she claimed that time is worth $10,000 for her.
Does she not? Does she not think that anyone's ever done this process?
No, but I did the same exact thing with you, and she's smarter than us both in this case.
Why?
I did exactly what you did, and then she explained it. I'm like, oh, I get it. You can explain.
Oh, what
What?
I think happened to her seat?
No,
Or
what you just
with
said to
the-
him's why you're right.
Well,
and
I
he's
understand.
wrong.
Yeah,
she's
like
saying
your
it.
time. If your time is that valuable, you should not be paying the $30 upgrades for extra legroom.
She's
You
saying her
should sit
time
in
is
first
like-
class.
Yes, that's
She's
true.
saying her time is
Fly
$10,000
private.
like a second.
Wait, but that means that she's crazy because it's like
Well, of course she's
Well, no,
crazy.
that's $10,000.
she's booking her own flight to begin with is
Yeah.
crazy.
Nobody
this adds
whose
up.
time is worth
Agreed.
$10,000 is booking their own flight and paying for $30 upgrades.
Right.
Has she heard of first class?
Right. This whole thing.
They all get extra legroom.
It also just, it's part of the, you literally say choose a seat and then you choose the seat that
Correct.
has the
but
room.
she's theoretically, which I didn't get at first, she could theoretically be saying, even if it took 1 second, that's $10,000 of my time. But then she should be in first class or
Right.
private.
Right.
Or have someone do it for her. Have an
and no,
office
and then
manager,
she
Brett.
even said that she went back several times to review new like for a very opinionated person, she's clearly indecisive if she needed to come
Right.
back multiple
That's-
times to find her seat.
Yeah, and that she's like monitoring where her seat's going to be for days on end. Very weird.
Nothing else going on.
The weird thing is, I agree with her outside of everything we've just said. Like, if I buy an extra room seat,
Any of us would be pissed.
yeah, and they just move you, I'd be
Yeah.
like, well, what the fuck? Like, I did that. So I get that she's just so hateable in all her points, which we just made. But the general thesis of an airline just being like, yo, you bought, whether it be first class, extra room, whatever, kicking you out, that seems, again, like treason to me a little bit. So I get that part of it. She's just the worst. How about the picture, though?
Yeah,
The picture's hilarious.
The picture, most of those pictures you would think would be hidden, she really comes across like she just...
She went right
Yeah.
in their face.
Yeah, she did.
You gotta
offend her.
respect. That's a villainous move that you gotta
Yeah.
kind of respect.
Yeah.
So that story went viral. The other one that's going viral, kind of as we speak, R. Kelly's running some sort of sex cult where he basically has young girls. He takes their phones so they can only call him, maybe giving them walkie-talkies, and is brainwashing them. Hard to tell whether these girls showed up with parents, without parents, whether they're being held against their will. There's a lot of X factors. Dan, what do you got on R. Kelly?
R. Kelly's just one of those
What do you got on
dudes.
R. Kelly? It's such a loaded question.
Yeah, he's just one of those dudes. It's like, was anyone shocked
No.
that this might be happening?
And
I'm not. This is R. Kelly.
Apparently, the mother of one of the girls was shocked because she literally was like with her daughter and R. Kelly during the first several meetings. And she was like, oh, you think about the whole Aaliyah thing and the age ain't nothing but a number, but I liked that song. And I'm like, oh, it's all fun and games until it's your daughter who's getting pissed on.
Right.
Like,
Oh, man. This is, R. Kelly.
But do you...
He's a bad dude. Like, just a...
Well-
he's a bad hombre. He is. You just need to watch out. I don't know if it's true. It's alleged still,
it's not
but
like he's snatching these kids up, though. It's like
Right.
they're showing up at his doorstep.
But if
he's
you-
mind fucking them.
Right, and you've seen the clip when he's like talking about underage chicks.
but that's
and
my whole point. Like, how do you show up at his doorstep?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you're all, I don't want to say you're asking maybe to get brainwashed.
He's got a great voice.
I mean, there's
does have a
probably,
great voice.
apparently there seems to be some sort of pretense that he's going to help with their music career or whatever.
Yeah.
And then,
Like a
listen,
little
did you
Lou
see
Pearlman
Get Out?
situation?
You
I
don't
did
know-
see. I saw Get Out this
You
weekend.
don't always
Yeah.
walk out of the same situation you thought you were walking into.
That's true. That's true. That is a. But the thing in the Get Out, those people you couldn't Google like those people. In this case, like you can Google R. Kelly, be like, oh, as Dan said,
just
bad
ask
hombre.
anyone.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on
like,
R. Kelly?
You heard of this R. Kelly?
Most people are stupid.
Yeah, but
You
R.
have to
Kelly's
be,
got he's
extreme. It's like bringing I keep using Michael Jackson. It's like letting Michael Jackson like take your kid to like an amusement park.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
what do you think's
Yeah,
like, gonna happen?
but that
there?
doesn't mean your kid was asking for it.
No,
no,
but
no,
the
no, 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 no.
parent and the
No,
kid
no.
versus an 18-year-old.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
No.
I did suggest on radio, which you rolled your eyes, and we are a content thing. It's like you put a hidden like anklet on Rhea and like send her in, and like you press a button, and then we come crashing through if it gets. But then we'll get to the bottom of what's going on. And I am a content guy.
This might be worse than like texting your employees at 9 a.m. on a Sunday
That I
and
could
sending
see.
them into like
Kind of the
R.
same
Kelly's
thing, right?
like
You gotta work the
chamber of
weekends for R.
concubines.
Kelly's.
Yeah, you got to work for the company. I could see how some people would construe that as worse.
Yeah.
Like sending
Yeah,
Rhea to
text at 9
R. Kelly's
a.m.
house.
Become R. Kelly's concubine.
But
She's
you
got,
have that
she's got a
button.
safe word. We'll
Yes,
bust through the
exactly.
door.
Like pineapple.
We're ready to go.
Yeah. Another not great story. Ezekiel Elliott.
Ooh,
Zeke
come
Elliott.
get your mans.
Yes.
Come
Ohio
get
State.
your mans.
Oh, I went
Come
to a
get
school,
your
now
mans.
everyone's my man.
Oh, you went to a school? You were like the biggest Ohio State fan of all time.
I'm a big Ohio State fan.
Really? I didn't get that vibe
Like,
at all. She was very
crazy
quiet
Ohio
when I'm like
State fan. You
institutional chaos and whatnot.
You went on Urban Meyer's cruise.
It wasn't. Oh my God, you're making it sound like
that
the Vikings.
sounds like the
cruise.
Viking sex club, the way that was
No,
described.
but it's actually
That
worse.
is
It's
not
like
the way. It's a cruise that raises money for cancer
Yeah,
research.
but it's like the Ohio State, like everyone, like
Listen,
the Buckeyes.
I was
R. Kelly's
invited on a
helping music
cruise to
career.
the Bahamas to raise money for cancer research, and I did it. Don't
You
try
are
to
a-
make it sound like
you are
the Vikings cruise.
You are a very, very big Ohio State fan, so come get your mans.
I'm not going to defend things that shouldn't be defended.
Do you think he's going to make it through his career without being like kicked out or suspended for a long time without something like
I mean,
the way he's
what's
going?
the
I'd say no.
average career for a running back anyway? 3 years. We're already 1/3 of the way there.
Okay, but that's a good stat. You tried to trick me up with the stat. I'm not a stat guy. I'm an eyeball guy.
okay.
He's a 10-year running back if he doesn't.
Yeah.
So he's like a superstar.
Fair point.
So, but my biggest thing here is, so he's punched a DJ. That's the story. I don't even know if we said that. This is the third time, though, while it's still being investigated, whether he did anything or not, to know you're under investigation and still be committing crimes, to me means you're capable of anything, anytime, anywhere, and eventually, like a Ohio State guy tends to do. I'm not saying it'll be double murder, but it's going to be something that's bad.
They are.
Yeah, no, listen, like the stuff that broke last night or whatever it was, it's all alleged, so I can't speak to whether or not he did it, but I will say, regardless of whether or not he did it, it's always a bad look to be in that situation, especially with the other things that he's been accused of. When you play for the Cowboys, you're Offensive Rookie of the Year, you're under the spotlight, it's just a bad look, and ultimately, even just being in the wrong place at the wrong time enough times, especially in 2017 where everyone has a cell phone, you're gonna get caught doing stuff, like you need to lay low.
I agree with everything you said except for the Cowboys part, because when you play for the Cowboys, you can get away with anything.
It's almost more.
Right, it's like you
At
know
this
that
point,
like you get the pass.
So you think that?
Well, you think this
how
is
many
his
passes
I
do you
mean,
think
they
there
signed
are, though?
Greg Hardy. Like
It is.
Jerry Jones
But
is
like,
not
how many passes do you
a
think there's
lot.
going to be?
Infinity
when
passes in Dallas.
I don't think he'll ever be removed from the Cowboys when the league still like he can still be there.
Right,
Like,
the league might do it, but the Cowboys are not.
correct.
Jerry Jones will not do that.
The Cowboys and the Ravens, you can basically do whatever. You can literally like murder people, basically.
Yeah,
I mean, the
actually
Ravens.
murder.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you can.
I have a side question. Do you think
Patriots, by the
Jim-
way, cut immediately Hernandez when he murdered him. That's just a fact.
Jim Harbaugh is growing a big bully up north. Do you think Urban Meyer's going to fake a heart attack sometime soon?
Absolutely. Sorry.
Ohio State fans get so mad when we bring
I
up fake
literally
heart
couldn't-
attack.
I mean,
Lose that
I don't
spot.
know. He's 2-0 against Harbaugh, so I don't think he's going to be faking a heart attack.
We took
anytime soon.
the tour of the Ohio State facility, and there's like his family contract. Urban Meyer's family contract was like, I will come to
gross.
more of your volleyball games, is
Gross.
hanging over his desk. And I was like, oh, that's his fake heart attack contract. And we were walking out, and the guy was like, I can't believe they disrespected coach like that. It's like,
And by the way, why don't the internet get mad at football coaches?
Yeah.
Like for working too hard because they
yeah,
notoriously
football
work the hardest.
coaches
They
never stop.
Sleep in the office.
Never stop.
Aaron Carter, this mugshot, got to show it. The hair, Caleb brought up a good point. If you take out the face and like, he's almost maybe the only. How old is Aaron Carter? How old is Aaron Carter?
Like 30?
He may be older looking than Hank.
Yeah.
And there's not too many people who are older looking than Hank. Have you seen handsome Hank? He looks like he's
No.
45. He's like 22.
Yeah. Aaron Carter? You know what that is, though?
That
Those
is
are
a
Florida
weathered
years.
look.
Those are Florida years. It is. I think he lives in
Florida
Florida.
man Aaron Carter.
Somewhere, yeah.
The hair is a good look if you take out the face.
Well, no, it looks like he hasn't had his roots done in a while.
Do guys have roots done?
I guess so. Well,
I
not
would
Aaron
imagine
Carter.
Aaron Carter would, yeah.
I feel like he's been 29. That is crazy.
Where's Nick?
He's still doing that tour.
He's
I saw
laying
him
low.
on-
Be a big brother, man.
Nick is on. Nick was in sync, right?
Yeah. No.
No, Backstreet Boys.
Yes.
Backstreet Boys. They still go. They still perform. I saw him
Yeah,
at Fenway.
Backstreet's back.
But be a big
Backstreet's
brother.
back
Throw
again.
Aaron as like the opening act or something. Keep him out of trouble.
He's
I don't
all-
know.
He's the bad boy. Sometimes the bad boy is going to be the bad boy.
Well, wasn't he caught with like less than an ounce of marijuana? That's not exactly red flag city.
True.
That is
the,
bullshit.
The neck tattoo is sort of red flag.
Neck
Oh, I
tattoo
didn't see
is
that.
looking for a fight.
Yeah. But I just wanted to show the mugshot we had to. My guy, Roger Goodell, back in the news. This, I don't know if this is the gift that keeps on giving or whether we're sick of this or what, but Pro Football Talk, boys over there, they reported this. He's still, they didn't really say the context of who said like that he said this, but apparently he's still like just furious that Matt Patricia wore our clown shirt off the plane after the Patriots won the Super Bowl. Good news, the home opener is coming, is supposedly going there. We're probably going to move a lot of shirts. You think he's really mad about this?
Yeah. I mean, Roger Goodell's like a thin-skinned dude.
5 months later?
Yeah. I think absolutely. Did you come up with the conspiracy theory? It might have been you, might have been PFT, might have been me. I can't remember. That the Patriots let him wear it because they knew then that no other team would try to hire him as a head coach.
I don't think they knew he was wearing it.
But that does kind of like when you start like the Patriots basically were like,
You mean
it's all
like-
right."
It's kind of
Yeah,
Nobody
like he can
said
get off
take
this
it off?
plane. Yeah,
Yeah.
he can get off this plane with this shirt on because now you know how the NFL works. It's so stupid how it works, and all these other teams are like, oh, we can't hire him because then Goodell's going to get mad at us, and now he can just be defensive coordinator for the Patriots for life.
I won't put it past them. The thing that I don't, the weird thing with this is I like Matt Patricia. I actually love Matt Patricia. And literally at the Super Bowl party, he told me, I didn't even think twice about it. He said to me, look me in the eyes, he goes, I'm going to wear the clown shirt off the plane. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I didn't think about it, and then he did it. It became a big story. I like him, so in a weird way, I don't want to say guilty, but it's like, I don't want him to get penalized for wearing our shirt, but it's great publicity every time he does it.
He knew what he was doing.
See, I think the Patriots
He knew what he was doing more than the 18-year-olds living with R. Kelly knew what they were doing.
Fair. I mean,
I don't know, man. Roger Goodell holds a grudge.
You know,
that's the best part of this story
Saints
is like, I would love to hear the quote and the context within which this came up, because all we heard is like an inside source tells us.
Right.
But like, I really want to understand, like, how do the words come out of like the mouth of a man who is that like wrapped up in himself that he's so upset about a t-shirt? Like, you make $30 million a year.
Which is obnoxious.
You're going to end up in t-shirts with a clown nose. Like, that shit just comes with the territory.
Like Dan said, maybe it was in the context of like someone discussing Patricia, like, would you be mad if you got a coach job? Who knows? Who knows? We're having back to high level discussions of how do we get the entire stadium wearing the clown shirts, which would be awesome for opening day. But we haven't figured out, unless you're like, yeah, we'll spend 250 grand, 300 grand on shirts, because even a section would be good, but how do you know who's sitting in each section?
Yeah.
You need like an inside guy at Foxborough, which they're not going to do.
Yeah, they're not going to let you just walk around and put them on every
Right, because
seat.
they don't want to be, then they'll get in trouble too, and they don't want that, even though they hate Goodell. They don't want to be like complicit in it.
Maybe try to hand them out at the draft or something.
At
That
the
would
what?
be good. At the draft, at the NFL draft. I feel like that
Like
would
next
be
year?
Yeah, that would be like something
Yeah.
we could pull off.
Or are we looking into maybe towels, like just little that are cheaper, because then they'd be everywhere. But they'd be on TV. It's such a bright
Yeah,
color,
towels
too.
would be good.
Yeah. So whatever, we're back in the news with the clown shirt. LPGA dress code. So this is an issue. This is a little bit weird. Almost makes me think something happened that we don't know about. But the LPGA is changing the dress code. The big one that I saw, they don't want plunging like shirts on the golfers. The other one is like, don't have your ass hang out, which I certainly can understand that. And then it almost seemed like social, like no jeans at events, pro-ams, things of that nature. Elika, what do you got on this new LPGA dress code?
Why would they try to make golf more boring?
It's an interesting move.
Like, well, and the funny thing is, you mentioned like don't have your ass hanging out. It even said like your bottom area cannot be showing even if it's like covered by something that's
Tennis
under
style.
the skirt. Yeah, that's really like, so technically your bottom's not showing.
Right, because you have like sport. Yeah, and it's very, like you said, for LPGA, where it's not exactly the most popular sport of all time.
Right.
You'd think like attractive golfers would drive ratings, which
Right.
always seems to be the case with like the female sports. If you have someone pretty, people are watching. So bananas, bizarro, borderline backwards move, you'd think.
I don't even mean from like an attractiveness level, but when you think about like men's golf and the way Ricky Fowler dresses, like just you're supposed to get more progressive with the times,
Right.
like not more regressive and like try to restrict the dress code even more. I understand saying like be professional at professional events, but it's like you can't even wear leggings. Like
Well, the plunging.
It's like John
Plunging.
Daly. John Daly wears crazy shit, and people like, are like, oh, look at that.
I read
guy.
this as it was very much in the sexuality, like the plunging neckline and like covering your ass. To me, that's like we don't want that. Not so much professional. That's like we want you to be covered up. Is how I read it. I mean, a plunging
Seems very
neckline.
backwards. Seems very backwards.
But then where do you draw the line on like what's considered plunging? I just feel like it's taking away things that could be left to interpretation, which then give creative flexibility to make the attire more interesting.
I wonder if something like, again, I have to think something happened.
Probably.
It's like the Paige Peranic rule.
It's almost like a Paige Sprenger, or like
Feels like she's being singled out. It does. It does.
yeah.
It
I mean,
does-
she's not on the tour, but other than that.
Riggs still have a bounty on him?
Oh, well, I mean, Riggs came in. We have that video of the guy's leg who was on backwards,
Yeah,
getting
that was
run over.
bad.
He's
That was
still,
bad.
I don't think he's going to get hit, Riggs. But yeah,
There's
the
a
bounty
bounty.
still, can you remove, I'm not a bounty guy. Can you remove them once
I
they're
don't
on?
think you can remove bounty.
I don't think you can either.
I mean, I told Ray,
I don't endorse it.
come football season, people start having to pay their bookies. I feel like that's when the Heat maybe don't golf after like September. Because
He's also like, no offense, I'm not going to say it. I said I couldn't know you were in on it, but he could probably finagle this so he gets
gets hit for
Yeah.
a couple $100.
This last one I just thought was a really funny video, but it's a gender reveal where presumably the wife is throwing like soft toss to a dude who's going to hit the egg or whatever shell and it'll spray. And the guy took a pitch. There's no other way to describe it. He couldn't pull the trigger. It's like a hit and run when you don't swing. It's just like you freeze up, which happens, by the way.
I'm on his side.
Yeah, sometimes you can't swing at balls.
That ball was like all up in his hands. He would have looked like an asshole swinging at that.
It's a funny video.
is.
I don't know who, like, the gender reveal concept, like, that's a little bit strange to me.
Gotten too much.
Yeah.
We celebrate like too much stuff. Like I'm sick of celebrating other people's life moments all the time.
We'll tell that to Kevin. It's like a parade around here.
It's also great watching those gender reveals because you can always see the guy be a little disappointed when it's a girl.
And
Like, you can see it. You did not. You're telling me you didn't see it?
Well,
There's a split second where he's like, shit.
That could have been the gag, though.
Yeah.
That could have been like, I should have swung.
No, but you can always, like, it's very hard to, when you're doing these gender reveals and people are videotaping, it's very hard for the guy to completely mask his instant knee-jerk emotion. And it's usually, you can read it on him.
The funny thing is like you're supposed to be excited either way, right? Like you're supposed to be excited whether you're having a girl or you're having a boy. Then why are we even doing a gender reveal?
Right.
Like it's not a winner and a loser thing.
But you can see it because and the guy always snaps back and he's like, I got to be excited either way. But there's that like, it's almost like the doctor hitting your knee. You can't help yourself.
Right.
And he's just like, shit,
I
want to play wiffle ball with my son.
I would say every guy, I don't know how many kids up to want a boy. I'd say definitely the first kid, I think. Every guy would say, I want a boy. The second one, I don't know. If you already have a boy with you, like, I want the boy and the girl.
I think don't women want...
But that's on the girl's fault. That's the wife's fault if that's the first kid. She already knows. So you shouldn't do the gender reveal if you know
they
it's
don't.
gonna be a
Neither
girl.
of them know.
Neither of them know.
No, they have these companies.
Yeah,
It's the fucking
they make
biggest
it.
boondoggle you ever seen. They have like cupcake companies that will the doctor will send them the ultrasound and then the cupcake company will make the cupcakes.
Oh,
it's
shit.
wild.
Yeah.
Talk about
whole thing.
boondoggle.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's fucking wild. So neither of them know. It's
You
true
dispute
gender.
that, by the way? You look like you're disputing that. You think every guy, their first kid wants it to be a guy.
My parents said that they were always thrilled that their first was a daughter because daughters are more maternal.
Coincidentally, you
So
were
it's
the
like a
first.
free
So they told
babysitter.
you that
Yes.
they're
Well,
happy you
Did
Did
Listen,
they
were a
also
girl?
say you were
Listen,
their favorite?
I'm Persian. My parents told me all the shit that like no one should hear from parents too. So I think like there's no bias here. Like
Okay.
they'll tell me stuff that I wish I
Oh,
could
his parents
forget,
were
and
happy
I'll
the girl was
probably
there.
pay for lots of therapy for having heard. So yeah,
All right.
You're my
We'll
favorite.
see.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Dude,
I was not the favorite.
Can we get Spider Monkey out here?
Yeah. Nate, he's Spider Monkey.
He's
and
got the air out of him.
He's a deflated tire. Spider Monkey has come back with zero fire.
Did I tell you?
Basically-
So I was telling Nate this. This is like you're too deep into Barstool world. I was talking to my dad this week, and he's like, "You getting any of that monkey monkey money?" And I was like, "No, he busted." He's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, he busted out." He's like, "Oh no, I was talking about Planet of the Apes with Cherney." I was like, "Oh, okay."
yeah,
I was like,
right.
"Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Not everyone's like obsessed with
Yeah.
the spider monkeys."
So
every
he's
hand.
back.
Sorry, Mr.
I
Big
was
Cat.
I was obsessed.
No
He
monkey
did about
money.
30 hours of poker.
About 30 years.
You feel so sad.
Yeah,
God
and then
damn it.
missed the pay by like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Your swag is just gone.
I'm tired.
Swagless.
I'm bummed. I'm still poor.
How much
Dave,
of
you win.
He's come back just defeated.
Just as a shell of a man.
Nate, how much of that money had you mentally spent?
Oh, I think a lot.
I had gone through.
Did you buy a boat?
I bought a house. My mom actually texted me. She's like, I just picked out the house. I was
Oh
like,
my
Jesus
God.
Christ, Mom.
For real?
Yeah, real text from my mom. Shout out, Carol.
That sucks.
Carol's
Damn
getting so
it.
many shout outs
Yeah,
today.
but it was a great experience. We got a lot of good videos and content, and I wouldn't trade it for the world, or I would trade it for $15,000 to $8 million. Somewhere in
It's
there.
tough, Nate. It's tough. I mean, it's just
It is,
the
Dave.
circle of Barstool life. It's like you were so close. What's that? There's that Greek. He's like pushing the stone, pushing the stone, and then he gets to the top of the stone, just rolls back down.
You were basically like
What's it called? Of course, Francis.
Harvard.
you were basically like a guy who like escaped prison, and you were like running in the woods. I'm free, and there's like, whoop, there you go. You're back. Go back to jail.
With the border.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
there,
Here
like
I
right
am.
there.
I'm about to be free forever.
After 30 hours of running through the woods. Just for
Dave just
Portnoy.
comes and snatches you, grabs you by the collar,
It
pulls
couldn't
you
have
back.
ended any other way.
It definitely couldn't have
Do you
ended
think
better for
if
any
I
of
was
us.
involved, I'm not saying like I got in your head.
No,
but
you
just
weren't
the
in my head.
karma of the situation.
I
where
don't
it's
believe in
like,
that, no.
Man,
It ended exactly how it was supposed to end.
Do you think?
And hopefully,
That's what I'm talking about.
hopefully us and
That's exactly
my
what
good
I'm
friends
talking
at
about.
Fantasy Labs, your one-stop shop for all things Daily Fantasy Sports, will be back next year, and hopefully you will join us.
So you're going to play next year.
I think you will
Is
have.
Smitty going to play next year?
Did he didn't? Oh, he played this year.
Yes, he did.
Back to the Smitty passion.
Yeah.
What do you think of
Joking.
Smitty? I will say, I thought it was weird.
He
that
did a great job.
I thought it was weird that he bounced on you though and left you there alone.
When you're in Las Vegas for a week, you just want to get the fuck out.
Yeah, but you were kind of in a
here he
big
comes.
But yeah, you're
situation.
like a.
That's on it. He could do whatever he wants. I don't care.
You need
Here
need help.
comes Smitty.
He heard his name.
Here comes Nate's sidekick.
now it's a standoff. Now it's a standoff.
So bizarre.
What?
Just how he stands there.
Oh, Nate, I was rooting for you, man.
Thank you. I was
When
as
I
well.
saw that tweet that you were busted, I didn't realize how much I cared because I was heartbroken.
I told
was
you
like,
my dad called me offline just to be like, "We'll get this guy." Like he has like no case.
That would have, man. That would have given Mike Portnoy a reason to live right there.
what
He would have been
He
fucking all
literally
over.
was like getting all his books together, be
Yeah.
like, he has no case.
Yeah, doing his like,
Sorry, Mike.
continuing education law stuff that they have to do to keep up with.
Yeah, that's school.
I would have liked to have made money so he could have then sued me, and I think that
It
would
would have been a wild.
would have been
scene.
great for all of us.
And then Nate, you
Wild
tried to get Dave to put you into another tournament. That was
yeah,
you
Dave,
knew
kind
that was
of soft not to put
No,
me
but
in
you
there.
knew
bit
that was
desperate.
yeah.
It's,
Well, I certainly don't have 10K.
but why would I? And you didn't even offer like a good cut. You were
Obviously,
like,
you would have got a cut of it, 50-50, just like my friend Bales did.
why didn't Bales put you in for the 10 grand?
He already put up 10 grand. It was your turn to show that you had the nuts.
It's not nuts. I
So
don't-
are you guys gonna play head to head now?
I told
Yeah.
him I would do $5,000 of my own money for 1,000 of his.
Let's go.
I think that's fair.
Let's go.
You think that's fair?
Well-
Very fair. I mean, you claim to be better than me, and I'm giving you.
I mean, if we
$5,000.
balance net worth, this should be like my 1K to your like
No, that's
30.
not necessarily true. And the other, but you say you're better. You just.
Oh, so skill wise, yeah. So you'll give me the edge there. Okay, yeah. I think it's a good deal.
Yeah, I'd say it's a.
Do you think if we had a full Barstool all the content guys poker tournament, you think you'd win, Nate?
It's too.
That's too much variance to say, but I have a better shot than anybody else in the office.
I mean, you keep getting those quads. You're gonna be tough to beat.
hey, you know,
We're
getting
unbelievable with the
it's a
quads.
lot
You
easier to
were-
win
you were
poker tournaments when you got
were
quads.
one of the best quad poker players I've ever seen.
I literally won the shit out of that hand. with quads.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. It was weird because I was following. It's like I had aces, I just won. Oh, I just lost to 8 pocket aces.
Yeah,
It wasn't a whole
that
lot
was
of like
tough.
bluffing and it
On
was just like
on day 3, I was just thinking back to day 1 when I won like every hand that I played, and my table just like couldn't do anything about it. I was like, those were the good old days.
you know too. We talked about it. It was ironic and funny that in the one you won all your money, all your chips. You literally had half the people you played against in wheelchairs.
Yes.
just one guy.
you're picking
Just
on
one
the
guy.
No, it was not just one guy. That's
Then I
absolutely
played with a
false.
kid at a wheelchair the next day, but it's not like
wheelchair guys surrounding you. At
It's
all
a
times.
huge
And you were,
wheelchair
like,
sport.
tweeting it like
It's
and
huge
Coulter, like
wheelchair
taking pictures at him.
It's not
Okay.
a foot-based sport, so like people in wheelchairs
It's
are
not a
really good at it.
Man,
Sport.
Nate.
Yeah. All right, Nate. Well, we'll get that poker. I don't know. What did you guys do? I'll do it whenever.
We might have an in for a table with like the actual cameras in it
Oh,
that we can
love it.
play it. Yeah,
Love it.
Like not even far from here. I
Okay.
think we have an in for that. So.
All right, so we'll set that up.
Get it going.
Anything else post show?
No.
That's it. I got the
Elika's gonna
poker
be
itch
your
now.
tomorrow too, right?
Yeah.
So we have 2 days with Elika. Yeah, I think that's
Congrats to Kevin. Hopefully.
hopefully
Yeah.
Hopefully.
because
See him in like.
I'll have to bring it up if the kid doesn't come today. He
Wait.
comes tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna.
I think that's the plan is tomorrow.
Oh.
I thought it was
Oh,
today.
today.
I thought
Tonight or tomorrow.
I
or
thought
something like
induced
that. I think it's like
tomorrow.
overnight.
Got it.
It's
Got
like
it.
an overnight thing.
No, good luck. We all happy, healthy. Do we know the gender of it?
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
Yeah.
I knew that. I knew
Yeah.
that. Do we know the name?
I don't think they do names before the birth.
No, they know the name
They do. We don't.
They do. I don't
They
think.
do.
Yeah, you don't think
Yeah.
you say it out loud.
because you don't want to jinx it.
Yeah, I just don't think. I don't know.
I mean, I think we're already in the jinx category, but
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to raise that son in terms of sports.
Foot-based sports
Teaching
or
him how to play sports.
non-foot-based sports?
That's gonna be.
Foot.
It's gonna fall on you.
foot-based.
Yeah. Teach
Well,
him how to
I'm
throw.
Carabas's dad. I don't know how many
Yeah,
kids I can
Carabas.
have. Shout out Carabas. He's called me 100 times. I'll talk to your fucking realtor and be
You're
a
the guarantor on Carabas's.
Underrated. It'll be interesting to see Carabas in this office because he's I think, the dumbest life skills person we have, which goes under the radar because we don't
That
see
says
him.
a lot.
Yeah, there's- we
it
got some-
says an awful lot.
he didn't get the New York City grid, like how the streets go in order. He was baffled by it.
He doesn't get much outside of like blogging about baseball.
I can't imagine having to ask your boss to be the guarantor on your lease. That's a pretty emasculating move right there.
Not to him. He's never done anything like it. He's just like
And
someone
I don't
else
want
do
to
it.
throw Nardini under the bus because she's getting like all this grief, but she texted me late being like, does Jared have any life skills or something? I'm like, nope. It's like because we're going through this like
New content.
Yeah.
Jared
And
learning
by
how to
the way,
live.
I got back to Erica in like 10 minutes. Like, no, he does not.
Yes, no, he does not.
There you
I
go.
feel like there could be a show out of this.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Jared learning how to live. Let's
we
do it.
have some like people over there who I won't say the most talented life skills people, but he's something else. Something else.
And
Did
Like
you just
Hank,
drop the mic?
but look
and,
at
and a really bad name,
Jared.
Jared.
That too. And Hank did not have life skills when he came to us.
Hank.
He
Hank
was
has
20
gone-
though.
Hank
Jared's
is,
like 30.
now he's
yeah.
the oldest 24.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, so we'll shape him up, like the buffet story, all that shit. When Hank like thought he had unlimited breakfast options, didn't afford it. All right, that's the rundown. Yeah, he ordered a full breakfast, and then as we're walking out, just started pounding the buffet. We're like, well, there's another breakfast, Hank.